ate too much or too many guavas. One of the favorite things I like to do when I come home is to visit the forest. Good morning. Today I'm going to bring you for a walk down memory lane to my childhood home where I grew up. And we are going to start here. I'll be taking you with me to the end of our land. And this is a stream of water that separates us from the neighbors. This stream of water, in our time, we used to tap the water upstream. It's very clean, and we used the water for many years without getting any contamination or sickness. So this is the original point we used to fetch water from, and it was not directly in the stream. The stream actually passes here just near this plant, and what would happen is that once you make a pond here, you're able to get clean water that is not directly in the stream. This is so steep. I'm using a walking stick. One of the favorite things I like to do when I come home is to visit the forest. I feel such an amazing sense of peace. We have so many trees here in the forest that we have planted. By the way, we've planted a lot of forest. And where I am now, we have a mixture. It's a mixed stand. This is like a young eucalyptus or blue gum. We have an indigenous tree here. I don't know its name. This one is cypress. It's very good for softwood. And then we have others on this other side. We also have this indigenous tree. Please, if you know the names of these trees, tell us in the comment section down below. Underneath the forest, we have the ferns that are growing, like this one. I really love them. They're so beautiful. These ferns, they're all over. And once again, it's a typical rainforest where you're having trees just growing at different heights by themselves. Most of these were planted on the same day, but for some reason, some are taller than others, and they're different heights. There are also so many other indigenous plants. Maybe I'll show you a few more as we go along. So in my childhood, we spent a lot of time playing outside, including climbing trees. And one of our favorites were the fruit trees. And one of the fruit trees we used to eat was the lugard and or lagard. You can tell us its correct name. And it has still survived the many years since we moved away from here. And you can see we have a number growing by themselves inside the forest. I think because of the poor lighting, they are not able to give us fruits. And I'll show you more fruits that we ate in my childhood. We had so many of these trees in our home that it was possible for each child, and we were many children. Sometimes there'd be as many as 10 people in our household. There was enough trees for everybody to climb at the same time. One of the fruits I enjoyed in my childhood was the yellow passion that gives big yellowish fruits. And this is a mature passion that's growing. And as you can see, it is climbing up. These are the vines of the passion that have climbed and are now climbing on the avocado tree. We have some fruits that will soon be ready. Maybe I can show you a few fruits like here. So these are passion fruits. They're still green. When mature, they'll be yellow. Another fruit that we really ate in our childhood was the guava. And I'm standing next to a guava tree. Although at the moment it doesn't have any guavas. And sometimes if you ate too much or too many guavas, you'd get an upset stomach. tell us about your experience of eating guavas if you grew up eating guavas. The indigenous foods I enjoyed in my childhood are arrowroots, and now I'm standing in a place where we have arrowroots. These are tubers that grow below ground. They are a little tasty. They taste a little like sweet potato, but a bit different. I will show you when I cook them, but for now, I will try and see if I can show you a tuber. This one is too young. It should grow big, and sometimes it can grow as big as my hand. I will show you a mature one when the time is right, so that you are able to see how an arrowroot looks like. So it is actually the tuber that's below ground that you cook and enjoy. I grew up eating bananas, and banana is a very common food in this part of the world. You can eat them cooked or you can eat them ripe. This is a variety that is good when you eat it ripe. This one is not yet mature for harvesting, but maybe in another 1 month or so, we will be able to harvest it. We have just harvested this one that is mature. This one, we'll take it home and we'll be able to enjoy it as a ripe banana fruit in a few days, maybe 7 to 10 days. In addition to the ripening banana, we have cooking bananas, and this one is an example of a cooking banana. It is a bit tall, so you really need to carefully support it to be able to reach maturity. It's a bit young. The fruit may reach maturity in about 6 to 8 weeks. This is a young avocado tree, while this one is a mature avocado tree. It has some fruits, but I'm not so sure if my camera can get them. But we are hoping to be eating avocado fruits in a few weeks. I'm now standing where the original homestead was, and we had a number of houses or structures in that homestead. We had the main house around here, and then we had the outside kitchen where I'm standing, and then just behind me we had the granary where we used to store maize and other foodstuffs. When I was 17, we moved away from this homestead to another homestead that is about 300 or 500 meters away, and I'll show you in a short while. So I'm standing the position, I believe, where my parents' bedroom was, and our children's bedroom was somewhere behind me, and this is where we lived for many years. Right now we have planted some napier grass, as you can see, for our cows that live in the new homestead with us. I'm now walking to the new homestead, and on my way out of the homestead, the old homestead, we have some cassava. Cassava is a nutritious indigenous food in this part of the world. So we'll see you at the new homestead. This is the driveway into the home, and we've lived in this home for over 35 years. I'll show you some parts of the home. So this is my favorite spot in the new homestead, and I take a photo here every year, and I'm standing under a hibiscus bush. That's why it's dropping all these flowers here, and I will take you along into some of my favorite spots in our new homestead where we've lived for more than 35 years. Subscribe to this channel to make sure you don't miss this. So we plant some tea, and even as a teenager I used to pluck tea. I hope I haven't forgotten how. Let me remember. So the correct way, you're supposed to pluck the bud and 2 leaves. So you should cut here and get this. This gives you the best tea in the world. Kenya produces the best tea, in the world. Years of not picking tea, I hope I have not forgotten. I'm trying to see if I can get it right. I used to be very fast. I could rival the people who are doing it for a wage, but today, after so many years away, I can't. This one is not good, I'll throw it away. This one is expired. This one needs to go. This one is prime, and this is prime. So you need to master these skills when you are picking tea. So this is the best tea. Again, note only 2 leaves and a bud. I'm now at a vegetable patch. I will show you some of the vegetables we used to eat and we still eat them. These big leafed ones, these are kales, and you pluck them here, and then you cut this into strips before you cook them, and you can fry them directly. This is a very common vegetable in this part of the world. We also have real indigenous vegetables. Here we have the cowpeas, and this is a cowpea, and normally you'll pluck it like here. You go with it home. Then to prepare your vegetables, you pluck this off like this. These ones that are old, you remove them. So this is what you will cook and enjoy with your either maize meal or rice or any other starch. So we have another indigenous vegetable here that when you cook it, it becomes a little slimy like okra, but this is not okra. If you know its name, please tell us in the comment section down below. So this is, you harvest like this, and then you go pluck off the leaves and the top shoot. This is what you cook. Again, it can be eaten with diverse sources of carbohydrates. In addition to this one, we also have this other indigenous vegetable, but unfortunately it didn't do well, but you can see it. This one is common, you should be able to know it. This is the black nightshade, and I have plucked some. It's quite bitter. So this is how you prepare it. Then you cook, and you can again eat it with different sources of starch. We have another indigenous type of vegetable. This one is the spiderweed. It is very bitter. This is how it looks. You again pluck it in this form, take it home, get the leaves. This is what you now cook, and you can eat it with the different sources of starch. And the best way to eat this is to mix it with another type of vegetable, the amaranthus. And this is a sample of the amaranthus. Again, you harvest it here, take it home, pluck off these leaves. So once you've mixed your black nightshade leaves with amaranthus, you can again cook them together. Then that way the black nightshade is not so bitter. So these are some of our indigenous vegetables in the part of the world where I grew up, and they are full of nutrients, phytochemicals, and other components that are useful for your health. So we used to eat them when I was a child, and we still eat them today. So after we moved to the new homestead, we were no longer fetching water from the river, and we were able to dig a water well. It is almost 60 meters deep. That is over 180 feet deep. And we get our water using a pipe which is now pumped out of the well using an electric pump, and this is the powerhouse for the electric pump. So using the electric system, we are able to pump our water from here and supply the whole homestead. We are actually able to get so much water, both for our domestic use, irrigation, and even for our animals to drink.